Hi friends, I welcome you all here at TNV Academy. In this session, we are going to talk about an international standard, ISO 9001-2015 Quality Management Systems. In this session, we shall cover all the requirements of ISO 9001-2015 Quality Management Systems in detail. Let's discuss about the outcome of this session. After completing this session, you will be able to understand all the requirements of ISO 9001-2015 quality management systems necessary to support the operations of the standard. Before discussing the standard, let me give you a brief idea about International Organization for Standardization, or ISO in short. ISO, the International Organization for Standardization, is a worldwide federation of national standards bodies, ISO member bodies. The work of preparing international standards is normally carried out through ISO technical committees, each member body interested in a subject for whom a technical committee has been established has the right to be represented on that committee. International organizations, governmental and non-governmental, in liaison with ISO, also take part in the work. ISO collaborates closely with the International Electrotechnical Commission (IEC) on all matters of electrotechnical standardization. Let's have a short introduction of ISO 9001-2015 Quality Management System. ISO 9001 is defined as the international standard that specifies requirements for a quality management system, QMS. Organizations use the standard to demonstrate the ability to consistently provide products and services that meet customer and regulatory requirements. It is the most popular standard in the ISO 9000 series and the only standard in the series to which organizations can certify. It outlines a framework for improving quality and a vocabulary of understanding for any organization looking to provide products and services that consistently meet the requirements and expectations of customers and other relevant interested parties in the most efficient manner possible. The QMS is the aggregate of all the processes, resources, assets, and cultural values that support the goal of customer satisfaction and organizational efficiency. This standard was first published in year 1987 by the International Organization for Standardization (ISO). The current version of ISO 9001 was released in September 2015. ISO 9001-2015 applies to any organization, regardless of size or industry. More than 1 million organizations from more than 160 countries have applied the ISO 9001 standard requirements to their quality management system. Organizations of all types and sizes find that using the ISO 9001 standard helps them organizing processes, improving the efficiency of processes, and continually improving. ISO 9001-2015 doesn't dictate what an organization's objectives should be or how to achieve them. In other words, it doesn't tell anyone how to run their business. It's a flexible standard that allows each organization to define for itself what its objectives and adherence to the standard ought to be. ISO 9001-2015 defines the guiding principles that can be used to create efficiencies by aligning and streamlining processes throughout the organization in an effort to bring down costs, create new opportunities, meet regulatory requirements, and help organizations expand into new markets in which clients demand ISO 9001 certification. Let's discuss the quality management principles now. As the standard document, ISO 9001 is based on the quality management principles described in ISO 9000. The description includes a statement of each principle, a rationale of why the principle is important for the organization, some examples of benefits associated with the principle, and examples of typical actions to improve the organization's performance when applying the principle. The quality management principles are customer focus, leadership, engagement of people, process approach, improvement, evidence-based decision-making, and relationship management. These principles are the strategic basis for all decisions relating to quality management in the organization and are infused within all aspects of the ISO 9001-2015 language. Every organization will prioritize each principle in a different way at various stages of their development. ISO 9001-2015 contains a subset of tactical elements that complement the strategic principles provided above. These five elements, which represent a significant advance on ISO 9001-2008, are the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, risk-based thinking, leadership participation, unified structure, and clarified documentation requirements. These elements are complementary and are highly integrated into ISO 9001-2015. As such, discussing them in isolation from one another is somewhat artificial and carries the danger of misrepresenting the organic quality of the standard. Coming to the quality management process approach. As per standard document, ISO 9001 promotes the adoption of a process approach when developing, implementing, and improving the effectiveness of a quality management system to enhance customer satisfaction by meeting customer requirements. Specific requirements considered essential to the adoption of the process approach are included in subclause 4.4 of the standard. The application of the process approach in a quality management system enables understanding and consistency in meeting requirements, the consideration of processes in terms of added value, the achievement of effective process performance, improvement of processes based on evaluation of data and information. Figure 1 on screen gives a schematic representation of any process and shows the interaction of its elements. The monitoring and measuring checkpoints, which are necessary for control, are specific to each process and will vary depending on the related risks. Let's discuss about Plan, Do, Check, Act (PDCA) cycle. Plan, Do, Check, Act (PDCA) is a process approach that manages processes and systems to create a cycle of continuous improvement. It considers the QMS as an entire system and provides systematic management of the QMS from planning and implementation through to checks and improvement. PDCA helps organizations achieve better customer satisfaction and consequently higher levels of customer confidence in an organization's abilities to meet customer requirements. The PDCA cycle can be applied to all processes and to the quality management system as a whole. Figure 2 illustrates how clauses 4 to 10 can be grouped in relation to the PDCA cycle. The PDCA cycle can be briefly described as: plan, establish the objectives of the system and its processes and the resources needed to deliver results in accordance with customers' requirements and the organization's policies, and identify and address risks and opportunities. Do, implement what was planned. Check, monitor, and where applicable, measure processes and the resulting products and services against policies, objectives, requirements, and planned activities and report the results. Act, take actions to improve performance as necessary. Figure 2, representation of the structure of this international standard in the PDCA cycle. Let's have an idea about risk-based thinking. According to the ISO 9001, the risk-based thinking is essential for achieving an effective quality management system. The concept of risk-based thinking has been implicit in previous editions of this international standard, including, for example, carrying out preventive action to eliminate potential non-conformities, analyzing any non-conformity that do occur, and taking action to prevent recurrence that is appropriate for the effects of the non-conformity. The standard says that to conform to the requirements of this international standard, an organization needs to plan and implement actions to address risks and opportunities. Addressing both risks and opportunities establishes a basis for increasing the effectiveness of the quality management system, achieving improved results, and preventing negative effects. ISO 9001 specifies that opportunities can arise as a result of a situation favorable to achieving an intended result. For example, a set of circumstances that allow the organization to attract customers, develop new products and services, reduce waste, or improve productivity. Actions to address opportunities can also include consideration of associated risks. Risk is the effect of uncertainty, and any such uncertainty can have positive or negative effects. A positive deviation arising from a risk can provide an opportunity, but not all positive effects of risk result in opportunities. Now we have reached the end of the session. I hope that you have an idea about ISO 9001 2015 Quality Management System, or QMS in short. I sincerely thank you all for your interest and attention. Thank you and best wishes.